Hello.
Hello, Trevor.
Hello, Josh.
What did you do today, Trevor?
I don't know.
Wrong. You know what you did.
I know.
I know what you did last summer.
Hello.
It's spooky. It's a spooky podcast.
The Spoopcast.
Spooky. So, Trevor, can I count on you coming over to my house to carve pumpkins, jack-o'-lanterns?
It depends.
It depends if we use the actual Irish Gaelic jack-o'-lantern.
No.
Do you know what they used?
No, enlighten me.
They used, like, turnips.
They used turnips?
Yeah, potatoes.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they totally did.
I could see squash, maybe?
They might have used a squash. I'm not sure.
They didn't use a fucking potato.
Yeah?
I don't know. That sounds pretty, far-fetched.
It's true. It's the truth.
It's not the truth.
Yeah.
I think you're making that up.
I'm not making it up.
Prove it.
Well, I mean, I could show you the fact on my phone, but people listening won't really see that.
They'll get the idea.
It's a pretty well-known fact. In fact,
It's
anybody
a well-known fact.
anybody that listens to this that doesn't believe it, just Google it. And it's like turnips and potatoes, like just larger root vegetables pretty much. Radishes possibly.
Maybe?
Also, the jack-o'-lantern, it's the Jack of Lanterns in the Gaelic. It's rumored to be a guy who he like made a deal with the devil or something, or like messed with the devil, and so he's never allowed into hell, but he wasn't good enough to get into heaven.
Was his name Jack?
Yes, it was Jack.
When did this take place?
Uh,
And you're saying he was Gaelic?
Gay.
He was...
No, he was Gaelic.
And his name was Jack?
Well, it's an Irish legend. It's a stingy man named Jack who tricked the devil and was forbidden entrance into both heaven and hell. He was condemned to wander the earth waving his lantern to lead people away from their paths. And he's the Jack of Lanterns. That's where Jack O'Lantern comes from.
Where did was his last name like O'Malloy or something like that? Or O'Malley?
No,
No,
it's the Jack of Lanterns.
Oh, the of's the O.
Yeah.
Jack O'Lantern.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Jack
Maybe his name was like Jack O. Murphy or something.
Jack O'Sparrow. That was it. It was Johnny Depp all along.
Oh, that bastard.
Who also played the Headless Horseman.
No, he didn't. He played Ichabod Crane.
I know.
Actually, you want to know who played do you remember who played the Headless Horseman in that movie?
Yeah, it was Walken.
Yeah, it was Christopher Walken.
Yeah, it was Christopher Walken with the fucked up shaved down teeth.
Hell yeah, it was.
Ugh.
Yeah, and
That was like the creepiest Christopher Walken.
Well, I've seen creepier.
Well, I don't know. I'm just comparing it to the Fatboy Slim video, Christopher Walken, which was like the most awesome, approachable guy. In
Well-
comparison, the Headless Horseman was like by far the worst. High school, like I didn't really give a shit about anything. I dressed up as a woman for 1 year and got made fun of and ended up like changing halfway through the day because I was just bullied way too much. And I think that's kind of what left a sour taste in my mouth. After that, I didn't really dress up at all.
I think I know when I became detached from Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
It was way back in God. How old was I? I was probably like 15, 14, 15.
Just a babe.
Yeah, just a little baby. Me and my friends, we made a haunted house at our friend's house. So like we ripped up a bunch of like garbage bags and like made a bunch of like tarps and stuff, and like he had like this old house that was built in like the who knows, like the 20s or 30s. It had like pillars and stuff. Like we built it
Like
around
plantation house, kind of.
No. Right idea though.
Like colonial? with pillars?
It's Oregon. There's no colonial.
No, but there's a style.
Yeah. So anyways, we build this fucking haunted house, and everyone dresses up as like a skeleton, or like they're all like in crazy makeup, and I've always been like a Debbie Downer, and like
The one guy.
I'm not gonna dress up as anything, but they made me like wear like a black robe kind of looking thing, but you could totally tell it was me. Their mistake was when they gave me the bullwhip, because
Go on.
there was a bullwhip. I think it belonged to my buddy's friend. Not
Was it
friend.
like a real whip?
Yeah, it was a real whip.
It wasn't just like leather braided
No, it was
together.
like
It was like it was
a
actually made to whip people.
Yeah,
or animals.
It was a real whip. I think it was a legitimate bullwhip. Like it was like tied at the end, like had like little tassels on the end.
Mm-hmm.
I think it belonged to my friend's little brother.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so we would have like everyone like go through like our little haunted house, like they get spooked and all
It's
that
like
stuff.
random trick-or-treaters.
Yeah, like whoever came over.
Just like random. They weren't your friends. They were just random people.
It was some of them were our friends, some of them were not.
Well, I'm just saying you didn't set it up for friends. It was just like anybody can come.
It was all comers.
Yeah.
All right, so like we take them through the shit, and here's me at the very end. And you can like I grew up in a really small town. Everyone knew who everyone was.
Yeah.
Everyone knew everybody. But here's me at the very end of the haunted house, and it's me in a robe. And you can tell it's me because it's like a crappy black like silk robe or something, and I have a bullwhip. my intention was literally just like to scare people, like whoosh,
Sure.
scared ya. But I was whipping people.
So you're a shit brick. You're just whipping people.
I didn't. Well, I realized it to a point, but we're not there yet. So I like all these kids and like all these people were coming through, and I thought I was just like cracking the whip and like making it go whoosh. But what the reality of it is, I was whipping people with like a bullwhip.
Were you like breaking skin?
Yeah. Actually, when a friend of mine from elementary school went through it. And I cracked the whip on him, and to my defense, like I had no idea I was actually whipping people.
Yeah, you were just cracking it in their direction.
I thought I was just making the sound, but apparently I've been whipping people the whole fucking time. And then like I'm not gonna. We're not friends now. Like I honestly, I have no idea what he's doing these days or anything like that. But like back then, like like. He was, I'm sure he played in, like, the football team. Like, he was that kid and, like, whatever. And, like, I'm just, like, this fucking dumbass stoner fuck who's, like, in the corner. Nobody pays any mind to. So, anyways, he goes through our haunted house. And apparently I cracked the whip on him. And he was not cool with it. He called me out by name, grabbed me by the throat, drug me across the field to the next house over, threw me on the ground, and then proceeded to fist over fist beat the fucking shit out of me.
Jesus.
Like I had like a bloody nose, and like I like knocked a tooth loose or something.
Oh, jeez.
Like he rocked my fucking world. But that was about the time when I was like, yeah, fuck Halloween. This shit's fucked up. So yeah, like I didn't know I was causing harm. I was causing harm all night, and then all of a sudden
You were like a straight up asshole.
I was a fucking complete prick.
Like little kids walked through and they were getting whipped.
It was like they got
like it actually hurt.
They got to the end of the line, like they got their little taffy, and I fucking whipped out their hand. But no, like I was actually like whipping people.
For all you know, like the police were on their way. Like
there was like
some random dude was whipping children.
I'm not gonna say hundreds of people, but it was definitely like like 30, 40, 50 people.
Good amount of people.
A good amount of people I whipped that night. And then, like, it took the one kid to, like, get whipped and be like, yeah, fuck that.
Well, no offense, but you deserved it.
No, I completely agree.
Because if you were actually whipping people and hurting them all night, I love you, man, but you deserve a punch in the face. That's pretty dumb.
Well, it was more than that. Like, I mean, like, he was making, like, it was almost like high school cliche. Like, I was eating grass, and
yeah,
like, it's like, how does this fucking feel?
You're like, super good, thank you.
I was like, oh, thank you. No, but it was a eye opener. Like, definitely made me realize, like, personal space.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I got my fucking
That would do it.
I got my rock. I got my clock rocked. I got my fucking ass kicked. It was ridiculous. I have a spooky story for you guys.
A spoopy story?
A spoopy. It's a real spoopy. I was once, a long time ago, I was raped by a ghost.
I really don't think this is true, but go on.
It was a Halloween much like this one.
What
Slight,
will be.
Slight chill in the air. Very slight. Almost sweater weather.
It's going to be embarrassing if it's like 90 degrees on Halloween.
Much like this night, the wolves were wrestling, the children were loading up on candy, and I was nothing but a young buck. In the prime of my life. 17, maybe 25, I don't remember.
Are you talking about your age or the year?
My age, both.
Were you 17 or 25 years old, or was it in 1725?
When I was 17 in 1925.
Okay. Thanks for clarifying. I'm still confused.
It was a night like any other night, and I was just battening down the hatches.
So you're on a ship?
No, my butt flap of my underwear.
Okay.
And
buttoning down the hatches.
But yeah. And I felt a presence. I looked to my left. I looked to my right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with this ghost.
Fuck you.
Halloween, it's one of those times where you can just kind of let your freak flag fly. Honestly, it's
sure.
literally. I mean, you just want to get creepy with some shit. You know, all the shit that's been going on with the clowns and stuff.
That sounded super rapey, by the way.
I mean, it did sound rapey for sure, but I'm talking about. I mean, you've heard all this shit about the clowns, right? All these clowns.
Yeah, they're in Springfield now.
Corners.
No, actually,
you know, it's literally just these people that are trying to. They're just trying to get under people's skin. And that's what Halloween is about. Freak people out. Fuck with their heads. You know, I remember 2 years ago, close to Halloween, I got all these blank pieces of paper, and I started writing all this shit like I know what you did, and I know, like, you're gonna get what's coming to you, and all this shit, like, all this stupid shit, right? And I ran around the neighborhood, and I started placing all these pieces of paper on people's doorsteps throughout my neighborhood. Literally, man. Literally. Just to fuck with people. Because it's hilarious.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. I mean, fuck.
Dude,
sometimes
that's fucking
you
radical.
You gotta be kind of creepy. You gotta be kind of creepy. It's Halloween. Fuck.
Well, you're a pretty creepy dude.
Yeah, I mean, I can be creepy. I mean, I love horror, so... I mean, most people would consider that creepy, right?
No, I don't know. I think it's changed now. You know, like back in like the 70s and 80s when you watch those slasher flicks, like they were actually scary and super like. I mean, there was that whole like mantra of like you watch that stuff and either you were taking a girl to like scare her so you could hold her close, or you're just like a messed up dude. And now horror's like totally different. Especially if you watch the old stuff, you're kind of a nerd. Like You're not
yeah.
really seen as like a creepy dude.
The dynamic of the game has changed, man. I mean, honestly, to scare somebody now, I mean, you have to go above and beyond, really.
Like writing notes and leaving
can't-
them on their doorsteps.
You show somebody Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one, and I've done it before, and, you know, people have been like, this is fucking retarded. This is stupid. Like,
Yeah.
Not scary. Not scary at all. I'm like, I know, but you have to understand that at the time, this was the prime. This was the prime of scary. And, you know, some people think fucking, you know, Oculus or whatever the fuck is scary nowadays. It's not.
Or those, like...
It's all jump scares.
Like those rehashes of old movies, too? Like,
yeah,
like
and, you
the
know,
remakes?
not all movies from the 80s were... Not all of them were just, you know, mindless, you know, teenagers getting slayed. There's also some really great stories in some of the movies. I mean, really, there's some great plot lines.
Well, Heath, I didn't really tell you, but Trevor is a pretty good film buff. And
not in horror, though.
Well, he's seen a lot of horror, and I think he disagrees with you.
What about what?
Does he? On what?
On what?
Yeah, let's get into it, bud. Come on.
What the like on what?
Well, I don't know. I was just trying to spark some controversy. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, I mean, to each his own. I mean, I'm not gonna. If you know, you like a certain type of horror movie, that's you. That's your style. Whatever gets under your skin that's what works for you. Maybe you don't watch horror movies for them to get under your skin. Maybe you watch them because, you know, for other reasons, because you like the blood and the gore. Who knows? I mean, that's not overly scary. It's not going to keep you up at night. It's just a bunch of blood and guts.
So
to each his own.
Here's a good point. Is there a difference between gore films and horror films, like Cannibal Holocaust or something like that, compared to, I guess, Texas Chainsaw Massacre would be another good version?
Absolutely. Definitely.
Like, where
definitely,
it's just gore house versus horror film. Like, is there a divide?
Because there are certain movies that you know from the get-go, you go into it, and you know that this movie is literally just going to be blood and guts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you've heard anything about Cannibal Holocaust and you've seen it, then you know that it's just blood and guts. I mean, there's not a whole crazy lot of suspense to it.
But it's also filmed in a way kind of like Blair Witch, where it's meant to be like a real account.
Right, it's meant to be like a real account, but honestly, there's not a lot of building in the story.
No.
And with Texas Chainsaw, you know, at that time, they didn't really have a full grasp on that build-up to kind of a scary moment.
Well, and it was a cheap film made by, like, students, I think, right? Or something like that. Wasn't it a cheap film made by students? Like the first one?
It was a cheap film, yes.
It was just a B movie. It wasn't an actual... I thought it was a student film. I might be wrong, though.
Yeah, you had fucking Gunnar Hansen as Leatherface, who honestly has, you know, he hasn't done a whole lot since Texas Chainsaw. You know, definitely pulled off Leatherface.
Yeah.
You know, amazingly great actor for that part. Actually risked one of his limbs in that part as Leatherface. The scene where he's swinging around his chainsaw and it falls on his leg.
Yeah, he almost killed himself.
He had like a metal piece over his leg, and that chainsaw went into the metal piece, but the metal piece got so hot that he got third-degree burns, and it like literally burnt a hole in his leg.
Yeah, I remember hearing
And
about
this guy, you know, finished the movie, so that's dedication. And honestly, Friday the 13th, Sean S. Cunningham, that was a very low-budget film that, to be honest, as a horror fan, it's not an amazing film. It's just not. But it led to a series that turned into something that was amazing.
But it had big low points, though.
What's that?
It had really big low points.
It did. There was a lot of really dull points in the movie that you know, you watch it and you're just like, this is kind of boring. Like, let's get to like the murders here. Like, let's get to it, you know.
That's what we're all here
But,
for.
You know, but that's the time. It was 1980. It was 1980. They didn't have, I mean, they had an amazing special effects person. I'm trying to remember his name. Shit.
What,
Very big special effects artist. I can't remember his name right now, but
was it the guy who worked on King Kong like a long time ago, like the teenager? Like,
no,
what's his name?
No, this guy has done a lot of special effects for horror. He did special effects for the movie The Prowler and a lot of other shit. I think also The Thing.
Oh, okay.
If I'm not, I forget his fucking name off the top of my head. But anyways, they, you know, honestly, their film work was not great, but the special effects kind of made up for it somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
Like in 1980, like drilling a fucking arrow through someone's chest.
They made the violence feel
bottom
real.
It's kind of hard to do.
Yeah. Where do you think? Are you familiar with Trauma?
Yeah, trauma films. Yes, absolutely.
Are those horror films or are those gore films, or are they somewhere
those
in between?
Are kind of more. Those
like,
are kind of more comedic.
Yeah, like
gore films. Like nobody in their right mind is going to be, you know, scared from a trauma film.
no.
You know, Toxic Avenger. It was literally like almost a satirical gore.
That's a bad example.
Kind of thing going on.
That's like the funniest trauma film.
Yeah, and they're hilarious, and they're all like that. Honestly, Trauma kind of prides themselves as being this. We go over the top with gore, and we're also kind of funny kind of thing. That's what they do.
They were kind of like they were like a unserious Ed Wood with horror, I guess.
Right. That literally, yeah. That's exactly what they are. You know, some of the scenes are just absolutely comedic, and you can just laugh at them. And they're gory as fuck, but they're just funny. I mean, even the sequels after that. I mean, Toxic Avenger 3.
Oh, they just get
horrible
worse.
movie.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Well, that's the point, though.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point. So it just depends on who you're coming from. William Friedkin, the guy he actually was the director for French Connection, and
really?
He also did The Exorcist. But that guy, I mean, he put so much time and effort into The Exorcist that it actually, I mean, you watch it now, that shit will creep you out. It's kind of creepy.
Yeah, it's true.
So I got a good question for you.
Yes.
What's the movie that's considered in the umbrella of horror that pisses you off the most?
Oh man, umbrella of horror. Well, it wouldn't be anything from the past. It wouldn't be anything from the 80s.
Well, that's fine. I mean, new movies really piss me off too. But like, what's the one that like you watched and you like? Either like if you're in the theater, you almost walked out on, or if you're watching it at home, like didn't finish. Like, what really pissed you off?
Paranormal Activity. Honestly.
Oh yeah, me too, completely.
Because I just felt like it was a ghost hunter's fucking jerk-off session. That's really what it was.
Did you watch the second one?
Yeah, no, I
Did you watch the third one? Did you watch the fourth one?
I just really didn't.
Did you watch the fifth one?
Them.
Did you watch the new one?
No, I haven't seen the new one. No. I kind of gave up at that point. But
me too, yeah.
A lot of times I just kind of watch movies to talk shit because I'm kind of a pretentious horror little fucker, you know?
Spooky.